Before we jump into this wild-breaking update, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so you never miss any Dodgers bombshell the moment it drops. Because what you're about to hear is one of the most chaotic, blindsiding off-season twists Los Angeles fans have seen in years. This isn't just a rumor, this isn't just an insider whisper, this is a full-blown disaster unfolding in real time, and every new detail makes the situation even more unbelievable. A $200 million deal, a superstar player ready to commit, the Dodgers preparing to reshape their entire 2026 blueprint, and then suddenly, like a scene out of a Hollywood betrayal movie, everything collapses in the final hour. And the craziest part? The player's own agent went live on air and exposed the shocking truth behind why this record-breaking contract fell apart. Let's start from where the drama actually began. For months, insiders reported that the Dodgers were aggressively pushing to finalize a major long-term contract worth around $200 million with a top-tier star who was supposed to be the franchise's next foundational piece. The organization had already prepared roster shifts, payroll structures, and internal planning around this massive addition, and everything seemed locked in. The player wanted L.A. The Dodgers wanted him, the fanbase was buzzing, and even rival teams believed the deal was officially happening. But behind the scenes, something sinister was brewing. Something that not even the front office saw coming. According to the agent who finally broke his silence live on air, the Dodgers were caught completely blindsided by what he called a last-minute betrayal that derailed the entire negotiation. As he began speaking, even the hosts interviewing him didn't expect what he was about to reveal. He described late-night phone calls, sudden hesitation from unexpected parties, and a series of events that escalated from confusion to chaos in a matter of hours. He explained that just when both sides were ready to sign, a third party suddenly stepped in, someone the Dodgers didn't anticipate, and everything shifted instantly. The agent described it as one of the most shocking reversals he had ever witnessed in his entire career representing athletes. He mentioned that the Dodgers front office had been transparent, aggressive, and fully committed throughout the process. They had flown out executives, reviewed long-term strategy, and even accommodated contract structures that would have allowed the player more flexibility and bonuses than originally planned. For a while, everyone believed this deal was as good as done. The contract was being finalized, marketing teams had early drafts ready, and people inside the organization were already preparing internal memos. And then boom, silence. Then panic. Then chaos. The agent revealed that the player suddenly received an unexpected message from a rival team, not an official offer, not a formal pitch, but a direct communication that completely changed the player's emotional stance. It wasn't about money. According to the agent, it was about loyalty, trust, and something that had been said privately months earlier. He hinted that the rival team delivered a warning, suggesting that signing with the Dodgers would damage relationships and break an understanding that had existed long before the negotiations even began. This was not a normal business move. This was personal. And it hit the player hard. The player reportedly felt torn, confused, even guilty. The Dodgers were ready to hand him generational wealth, a prime position, and the chance to compete for championships immediately. But the agent said that the emotional pressure caused by this unexpected interference caused the player to freeze. For nearly 6 hours, the agent, the player, and representatives from both sides were stuck in a bizarre limbo. And while this was happening, the Dodgers began to sense something was wrong. They started calling. No answers. They emailed. No replies. Internal staff described the atmosphere as extremely tense, because they had never seen a superstar hesitate this dramatically at the final moment. When the agent finally called the Dodgers back with the truth after hours of uncomfortable silence, he said the disappointment on the other end of the line was unlike anything he'd ever heard before. The Dodgers believed they had been blindsided, especially since they had honored every promise and met every request during negotiations. According to the agent, the front office felt the player had been pressured, manipulated, or emotionally influenced by forces outside of the negotiation. And that's exactly what the agent admitted live on the broadcast. He said the betrayal didn't come from the Dodgers. It came from someone close to the player who changed the entire direction of the conversation right when everything was about to be sealed. He refused to name the individual directly, but he described them as a figure with deep emotional influence over the athlete. Someone whose opinion mattered so much that the player was willing to walk away from $200 million because of what they said. And the craziest part? The agent said the player actually cried during the call, saying he didn't want to let anyone down but didn't feel he could move forward without resolving what he had been told. Imagine being a fan, thinking your team is about to land a superstar, and then hearing that the deal collapsed because of a behind-the-scenes emotional breakdown from external pressure. But the story gets even wilder. After the deal collapsed, the agent revealed that leaked information started circulating online, details he swore did not come from him or the player's camp. He suggested someone was intentionally trying to twist the narrative, placing blame on the player and making it look like he had used the Dodgers for leverage. He said publicly that this was absolutely false and that the player had never intended to manipulate anyone. Instead, he was thrown into a moral conflict that completely derailed his decision-making. The agent described the situation as a psychological ambush that no one in the Dodgers organization deserved. He also claimed that the Dodgers remained professional throughout the entire ordeal, even when they learned the truth. They didn't lash out, didn't leak anything, didn't try to spin the story. Internally, they were devastated. They had spent months building around this deal, structuring their off-season plan around this player, and preparing for a new era with him at the center. Losing the deal wasn't just a financial setback. It was a blow to their entire long-term competitive strategy. The hosts interviewing the agent were stunned. They asked how something this catastrophic could happen in modern professional sports, where contracts are usually airtight and negotiations are extremely controlled. The agent said this was one of the rare situations where human feelings overpowered business logic, and that the player may look back on this moment with regret for years. He even admitted that he tried to convince the player to at least finish discussions with the Dodgers, but the emotional shock from the interference made it impossible. Then came the bombshell moment of the entire broadcast. The agent said on live air that he believes the Dodgers will eventually learn the full details of what happened, and when they do, the baseball world is going to explode. He implied that the behind-the-scenes person who sabotaged the deal had motivations that had nothing to do with baseball, money, or the Dodgers at all. Something personal. Something rooted in old drama. And the moment he said that, the entire studio fell silent. Even the producers were caught off guard. He concluded by saying he felt deeply sorry for the Dodgers organization and insisted that the player never wanted things to collapse like this. The player reportedly went dark after the situation, cutting off communication with several people because of the emotional toll. And right now, according to the agent, the player is completely unsure of what his future even looks like. The rival team that interfered isn't even offering a real contract yet, they just delivered a message that destroyed everything. For Dodgers fans, this feels like heartbreak mixed with anger. A $200 million megadeal gone. A superstar lost. Months of planning flushed in a single night. And a betrayal so strange and so personal that even the agent couldn't fully explain it without risking legal repercussions. The fanbase now wants answers. The front office wants clarity. And the baseball world wants to know who sabotaged one of the biggest deals of the offseason. As we wait for more information to surface, one thing is absolutely certain: this story is far from over. What happened behind the scenes will eventually come out. And when it does, it might reshape how players, teams, and agents handle negotiations forever. Because if a $200 million contract can collapse due to emotional manipulation, it shows just how unpredictable and human these high-stakes decisions really are. If you're still here tuning into this unbelievable saga, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell because the next update on this situation could break at any moment, and you're not going to want to miss what comes next. Stay locked in, Dodgers fans. The truth behind this collapse is coming, and it's going to shake the entire league.